Working hard for months, but now it's time we do smart work rather than hard work.
So, do I ask you to skip topics? No. Do I ask you to skip chapters? No. Or do I ask you to skip the concept and jump right up to memorizing the facts? No. Then how should a NEET 2025 aspirant study and ASAT tests? The beginning of March, and my position academically was that I had already been thorough with my entire syllabus with written revisions on peak and rapid revisions on the chapters of the topics in accordance with my revision pad. Now these are the things which I had already talked about previously in my other videos. At 8 am I used to wake up, and then from 8:30 am to 10 am what I used to do is that I would go for 100 to 150 MCQs of biology, and this time period would also constitute me learning from my mistakes and writing down my mistakes in the mistake book, and also checking my MCQs like thoroughly, so that I would have a big part of the revision done. And 10 am to 10:30 am breakfast, then from about 10:30 am to 12 noon I would do my physics sum practice, about 50 to 70 MCQs or sums of physics, either from the worksheets or from the previous class notes. I would practice those. Overall, you're going to get like about 45 plus 45, 90 MCQs in bio which you have to attempt, combining botany and zoology. But if I'm talking about physics, perhaps you should take it into account that in about 1 hour or 1 hour and 30 minutes you have to finish 45 MCQs of physics. And so when you are practicing in a very much homely environment, you must have the tendency of covering up about at least 50 MCQs in that same time period. And if you tend to increase your speed with time, and it's already March, and I guess that you people should be able to complete more and more MCQs with more accuracy and more speed at this point of time. So taking that into account, a minimum level of about 50 to 70 MCQs within the period of 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes must be covered. 12 noon to 1 pm, I would take a bath, I would relax. Then 1 pm to about 2 pm, I would get the revision of the formula sheet together, and then I would revise the examples chart of biology. 2 to 2:30 pm, lunch. Then it's recommended that you sit for giving your paper from 2 pm about, or if you cannot make it up to, if you cannot gather your morning or afternoon shift of studies within 2 pm, then at least from 2:30 pm, that is what I used to do basically after having lunch, I would sit down in order to give a paper within 3 hours. Now why particularly this time? Firstly, that you need to set your biological clock in that manner that your body doesn't grow lethargic during this this afternoon time of the day, because it's very much your body is very much susceptible to sleep during this time, and your brain may not function properly. But if you can have yourself sit for 2 months straight, and like during this afternoon time period, and you sit for your test, I believe that during the exam date will come out to be something really productive and really fruitful. Then go for the correction after you have given your test, and immediately write down the mistakes in your mistake book. After you finish with all these, it will be about by 7 pm, and I don't think this is the time any sincere student can take a break at, because you have just given your tests. Now you know what your mistakes are, and now your brain is all mustered up. Now you need to muster up all the courage, I would say, and also a lot of strength that now you need to work on your improvement. So I think this is the time when you would feel like working more. So from 7 pm to 9 pm, it used to be a mandatory NCERT reading for me. Mostly it would be biology reading, or sometimes even of chemistry, because the chemistry NCERT is also important. Not just organic and inorganic, but also physical. So it's like a mandatory NCERT reading of about 25 to 30 pages in March, and I don't think like that's much big of a deal. And while you give the NCERT reading, do go for the written revisions. That is, when you are finishing up with one paragraph of reading, go and write down whatever you have learned. In any sort of rough notebook which you have got by yourself. Or what I used to do is that I would firstly start with a pen and start writing down whatever I knew, and then I would get back to the paragraph in the book and check what are the points which I have missed out. So this is how revision can carry on smoothly, because you probably have read your NCERT now by so many times that you must know most of the content of NCERT. Okay. After having dinner from 9:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. I would go for the chemistry reactions sheet and mugging it up properly. And then from 11:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. I would finally sit down, analyze my entire day, and then I would write down my targets for the next day. Now how do you know what targets to be set the next day? This is one topic which I have already talked about in one previous video of mine. Do check out the link which is given in the description. How will this timetable benefit you? First point, that you get to be in touch with NCERT constantly, and you get to keep a track of your previously read topics with the help of the revision plan. Number 2, you're in constant touch with your formula sheets of physics and physical chemistry. You're in constant touch with the example chart of biology. You're in constant touch with the reaction sheet of inorganic and organic chemistry. Number 3, you have enough calculated breaks in between in this timetable to give rest to your brain so that you can perform efficiently, productively the next time. Number 4, at the end of the day, that is at the end of the timetable, what I used to do is that sit for analyzing my entire day. It's something which I used to do right from about 11:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. So you get to analyze your day. You get to give yourself a thought about how many hours you wasted in your day. You get to keep a track of your time and understand that what are the areas in which you need to work on, what are the areas which you need to improve, so that the next day doesn't become a failure. What I believe is that you have a little space for a little room for improvement every single day. Even the day before your NEET, before you give your grand paper, can actually teach you something which may come out to be fruitful or beneficial on your NEET examination day, right? So let's keep on growing together, learning from our mistakes, and also keep watching my videos. And if you really like this video, or you have had the patience to sit and to watch this video up to